again today. Just wanted to start a little video with this little guy here. This is a vintage Star Wars Lando Calrissian General POTF figure from 1985. He's in pretty much excellent condition, but he is missing a cape. First, we're going to start out with finding a little bit of fabric to do this, and you want to stay even with these sew lines, because if you go against it, it will fray. So you don't want to have the cape like this, because when you have your little neck pieces here, since the lines are going this way in the fabric, when you go stitch, it will tear out. So you have to go kind of at an angle. You don't want to go totally perpendicular and horizontal. So at an angle is always nice. So we'll start off with that. And I'll get my handy dandy little cutter here. These guys right here, I'll leave a link down below on how to buy these and where to get them from. I mean, you can literally go to any craft store and they have these along with these mats. You can buy them in sets, but I'll leave a link. Alright, so you get your little tape at the bottom to help stick it down to the fabric, and then you just line up, push a little, and go. That's one side, and then we're going to go over to the other side. Push a little hard, and off we go. Now we're going to come over here, and we're going to round out our corner, and there we go. This side's always a little bit more difficult. That's just because it's longer, and you're going into the little gold strips, but as you see, it cuts really nice. Alright, now let's just finish this guy up and see how we got. Oh, I missed a little spot. No one's perfect, right? And I got a little snag. And there we go. Perfectly cut out. No issues whatsoever. And I like to cut these little guys off here so I don't have the extra dangling around. And there you go. Who needs that little bit, right? So, let's get rid of this extra fabric here. I'll just put that over here for now. And now I'm going to get out my handy dandy little craft scissors. Well, fabric scissors. So now we have this piece here. So, since I stayed on the curve, I have a point here. We don't want that point. So we're going to, if you see right there, see that point? We're going to cut that little point, making like a little rounded out, I don't know, what is that? Half moon. Alright, and then what we're going to do is, in between the two neckties, we're just going to cut a straight line straight down to the template. Alright, you see that? It's not far enough. We're going to go a little bit more. And there you go. Let's get that template out of there. So now we have our two sides of the necktie with a slit, but we have to finish this off. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to, and I've been doing this for years, you're going to have to get used to it, but I'm going to start a little bit before that, where we just cut that little half moon, and I'm going to start rounding it out. I'm going slow so that you can see what I'm doing, and then I'm going to start cutting like a little eyelid out. So now I'm going up and around, making a circle for the head, and I'm going to stop when I get to that halfway point. Ooh, I'm not even in focus here. Right here. So now I'm going to get over to here, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to round it out slowly, and then I'm going to start making that little teardrop, that little eyelet. You see how it's coming out to a circle? I keep moving over out of view of the camera. Sorry about that, guys. This is literally my first video doing of this. I've been doing this for years, and the wife keeps telling me, do videos, do videos. People will watch them. So we'll see, right? Anyway, so here we are. This is what the end result is. We have this, and we're going to tidy this up after we sew. Alright. So there's that guy for now. Oh, I got a little hanger right here. Let me get rid of that. I don't like little hangers. Alright. For this sewing, I like to use a small needle. As you can see, it is just a little over an inch long. It's not very big at all. It's very thin. It works very well. And for the necktie, I use gold thread, or I guess you could say brass. And I take around 14 inches of thread. And there you go. And now an easy way to tie off thread is you get your two ends, you put those little bad boys together, and then now we pull it all the way out. We have our two ends, and you just wrap those around your finger, grab where it crosses over, and we're going to take those two ends and put them through that loop. And there we go. Now we're going to pull that off, that knot. But you can't have just one knot. You gotta have two on top of each other. So we're gonna do it again. And voila. And now we just gotta slowly pull it so that the two knots go on top of each other. If you can see this, see? Oh, that's blurry. It's very difficult to do this with the camera in my face. So now we have this done. We're going to cut off the excess string just above the knot that we just made. And there's our excess string. Okay? Alright. There's our excess gone. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and with this cape, I always go from, when facing away from me, from right to left, right? And I've been doing it for so long I know the space in the neck hole, but this is what you want to have. This is the figure right here, and you want to have this space right here, big enough just to go around the head. And what I do is, when I do that, I take this fabric and I kind of overlap it a little bit at an angle so that you get this nice curve here, so that it drapes over the figure instead of fanning out as you see with so many of these other customs. So now when you start from underneath and you go in the middle of the two, right where his chin would be, but below that obviously within the fabric, and you're going to pull that all the way through. Okay, and there we go. So now we have the beginning layout of it. If you can see that. Here's what it looks like underneath. I'll tidy that up. And this is what it looks like above. And now I'm going to shoot across back to that other stitch all the way over here. I'm going to go back in. And I'm going to come back up. And I'm just going to repeat this process several times so I get a nice little necktie right here. This way it kind of looks like his chain in the movie. You can see we have a nice little stitch right there. Now I'm going to come up underneath in the middle. And I'm going to, oop, nope, too far down. You want to come up right in the middle of that line of stitching. And then go back down almost in the same spot. And then we're going to tie it off. So this is the final product right here. We still have to clean all this up, but as you can see, the stitch is there, and it looks beautiful. It does. Alrighty. Oh no, Lando. Man down. Man down. So we got one knot. And again, you want to stick the rule of 2. You have the rule of 2 with knots when sewing. 2 knots to start, 2 knots to finish. And then I'm just going to finish these off, cut off the excess. So here he is. Nice new cape for Lando. Well, if you like it, hit the subscribe. I have many more to come. I'm going to be doing videos for many more figures. Thank you again. Oh. So I just wanted to follow up with, we're going to be doing future videos for ponchos, robes, coats, more robes, skirts and capes, more robes and more skirts, more robes and aprons and coats, and so on